when tempers theoretically flared. I think that's fair to say. It wasn't the Machado Tatis St. Louis situation that transpired last September. But what happened was, if you missed it, Jurickson Profar had a ball go over his head, no shame. And the runner, in an effort, the runner basically never stopped. Now, Profar, for whatever reason, didn't throw it in. It looked like he was motioning initially as if he was egging the runner on for the runner to go from second to third. In actuality, I heard from Bob Melvin postgame, what was more likely, it appears, is that he was waving Ha-Seong over from second towards third as the cutoff man. But as he did that, the runner never stopped, and he basically took third because Profar never threw the ball in. Well, because Profar never threw the ball in, Manny Machado, Joe Musgrove, and to some extent, it appeared Juan Soto took some level of exception. I think the most visibly frustrated player was maybe Machado walking into the dugout. Then Musgrove had words for him. Nothing out of, nothing crazy, but basically said, hey, throw the ball back in. And then Soto communicated with him as well. I didn't see it as anything. When I watched it over and over and over again, and you tweeted it out at Jim Russell SD, I thought it was probably good accountability and leadership from guys like Machado and Musgrove. I know other people see it differently. I don't think it's what happened in St. Louis. I think it's trying to hold guys accountable when you're in the midst of a race to try to get into the postseason. And sometimes things have to be said. And this is a game of baseball, not a conference room at iHeartMedia. So sometimes people might raise their voice, but this is a sport. And I actually give a lot of credit to Jurickson Profar. Well, I thought he handled it very well in what was being said from Machado, Musgrove, and Soto as well.
So after the game, Profar said, quote, I just have to throw it in. I made a mental mistake right there. I take full responsibility for it. It won't happen again.
Yeah, see, that's a good teammate.
Yeah, and for every, stupid fucking Dodger fan that quote tweeted that video and trying to make it something out of nothing, literally sit this one out. You're a casual and you don't know baseball. This was a clear sign of leadership from Manny, from Musgrove, and from Soto. That happens in sports all the time.
It does.
All the time. And if it didn't happen, I'd be more concerned if it didn't happen, because this team is in the thick of it. This team is trying to accomplish something this year that this franchise has never accomplished, win a World Series. So you got to hold people accountable. And there's no love lost there. It's like, hey, man, that's my bad. Sorry. And Manny's the leader of this team. Musgrove's the leader of this team. Soto is a natural-born leader, it feels like. So to me, while, yeah, they were frustrated with Profar 100%, that is leadership all the way.
I didn't see this. Did he call out? I saw it was posted by John Boy, but I didn't see Profar doing that. By the way, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, to be honest. The reason I say that is because the next batter singled up the middle. Like, regardless of whether the runner went from second to third or not, I think he would have scored.
Well, also, they brought the infield in, so you don't know how the infield would have played.
Yeah, I guess not.
Second.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it was a hot shot up the middle, but you're right. If they were, I guess, shifting in with a runner at second as opposed to third.
But at the end of the day, this is literally the tiniest of blips of blips. Nothing to see here at all. Accountability was had on every side, every front. They talked about it, and that's it. So what did Profar do on Twitter?
Ben says he replied with caps to John Boy's video that was taken from Ben Fadden, that I think was the Bally Sports TV, is what I'm guessing. I don't know. What are you drinking tonight? Sam wants to know.
A little bit of red wine. I felt like today was a red wine night.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. But
see if you can find what Profar tweeted.
So there's a little bit of this maybe that Profar was trying to redirect Ha-Seong Kim to move over to third as to be the cutoff guy.
Yeah.
And he could well be doing that. And then in the moment when Manny and Soto and Musgrove went up to him, they're like, dude, what the heck, bro? He could have been explaining to him, like, I was trying to signal over, whatever. And then I think Musgrove just lipped, just throw it in next time.
Just throw it in regardless. Yeah. He's got an arm to get it to third. You saw the throw. It made it to third.
Yeah. So there's nothing to see there. This is like basic communication in baseball. It's leadership from the guys you want to be asking those types of questions. from Musgrove and Manny and Soto. So there's nothing to see here. Like there's nothing to make out of this. It looked like he was. They were frustrated walking in the dugout. They talked about it. It's over. The play in question looked like he was trying to bait Rojas to go over, but he also maybe trying to get Kim in the right direction.
I don't think he was
And it's
baiting in
nothing.
retrospect because Melvin said he was trying to signal the cutoff man. So I don't think
it's
it was
over with.
baiting. Yeah.
No,
I mean, I know JD's third's trying to get a rise out of us probably. He says, listen, there's a lot of people, by the way, that feel this way. I don't know if he's being truthful or not. The way Machado leads, for whatever reason, I mean, he's a polarizing figure. We've talked about this a lot. He airs it out on field. He's willing to show emotion, which I think is a credit to him. But JD's third says Manny's not a leader. Remember him with Tatis last year. Nothing to see here. Always excuses for this team. Well, here's the thing. Last year, if you recall, it was Machado trying to get Tatis in line. And that's what Tatis then said when they had that joint press conference. That's not even part of the story that we usually tell about Tatis either, that moment in St. Louis. The thing with Machado is, for whatever reason, because he's an atypical leader, that is true. He's not your prototypical leaders probably don't say after games, I'm Manny fucking Machado. Yeah, they probably don't, but he does. And I give him credit for doing stuff like that. He does it in a different manner. He's not scared to be anyone other than himself. So he is who he is. And I have no problem with Manny Machado being the player that he is because he's been the player that they paid for. And he's been as impactful as any player the last 4 years on the Padres.
Yeah. And I mean, you joked like, oh, since I said that Manny needs to be better, he's hit like 800. Well, he's around like 450 right now, player of the week. He talked the talk, he backed it up. That's great. And I you won't be seeing me question the type of leadership Manny does anymore because he backs it up. And yes, I want him to be better against the Dodgers. I think he wants to be better against the Dodgers, but at the end of the day, like that's just how the dude leads. And I look at that as a very good thing for the Padres.
Yeah, see, Manny backs it up a couple of ways. A, he's always on field, barring a literal like ankle collapse or dislocation. Okay, so he's been on field a ton, right? 95% with the Padres, something like that. And not only is he on field, he produces by and large. Is he perfect? No. Has he had Juan Soto's last 3 years? Maybe not, but he's a better defender than Juan Soto. He's also taking on the leadership role with this team for the last 3 or 4 years. I don't think he's a perfect player. I don't want a perfect player. I think he's gritty. I think he's got some texture to him. I think he's got a realness to him that plays well in this city. I think Manny Machado's done everything you could ask of a player. Do they need to win in the postseason? Yeah. Could someone like Fernando Tatis Jr. help Manny Machado win in the postseason? Yeah, absolutely. He's not going to get that help from Tatis this year, unfortunately. But I don't really know what else we're asking of Manny Machado. He plays every day. He hits, he produces, he fields. He's not perfect, but, he's pretty good.
Right. Yeah. Profar. Someone goes, was he actually trying to redirect Kim? And then Profar responded, they need views, though.
And that's what, well, you know what? That's what it is. It is what it is. That's what sports are. That's how media works.
And that's why I preface by saying, like, is Soto, Manny, and Musgrove frustrated with Profar? Like, question mark? Like, I didn't know what the context of anything was going on there.
The answer is yes.
And the answer was yes. And he even came out and said, like, look, I need to be better that next time.
Yeah. All right. And that's great. And perfect. That's what we're basically asking of like Tatis. You get called out, take accountability, all is good. Now it's different. An extra base in August in Miami isn't an 80-game PED suspension. Right. Okay, it's different. Yeah. But that type of accountability that Jurickson Profar shows goes a long way. I bet it goes a long way in the clubhouse. They're fine moving forward. I think Profar has been a very good player. Again, is he perfect? Probably not. Did they lose this game because of that extra base? No chance in hell. So they move on.
They move on. It's fine. It's over with. I actually take that as a good sign, honestly. A good sign that Manny and Musgrove and Soto are the guys getting on the players for whatever it may be, because those guys are the leaders of this team.